I'm so happy to see you. I am with Deborah Slobin of LeShoppe Too in Kego Harbor, and she is in her store.
Hey.
And I can tell because there's so many really cool things behind you and mid-century modern things behind you. What is the brown thing behind you?
Isn't that fantastic? Just came in. I just loved it. I said, I got to be here when we're doing this chat because I just love that piece. 1970s by Robert Kidd, actually a local artist. Had an amazing Robert Kidd gallery here back in the day. And I think they still have one of them available still today. They're the gallery, I should say. It's a fiber art piece, the 1970s. Isn't it just so fun?
Yes.
Wow, I love the colors. It's fantastic.
It is absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy to see you. You did my podcast not too long ago. It hasn't come out yet.
So much fun. I loved it.
And we just had a good time, but I'm going to make you repeat yourself because it hasn't come out yet. And I'm going to make you repeat yourself because we're live.
No problem.
And I think it's really fun to sort of talk about what mid-century modern furniture is. And it's what's even interesting, and you and I didn't talk about this, is I'm in this midst of looking for furniture for my son who's moving to an apartment in Chicago. And I'm laughing as you go on these, furniture sites, and they're not furniture sites. I mean, like places like Target, Walmart, these, Amazons, and everybody is knocking off.
They sure are.
This mid-century modern look. And I'm kind of cracking up going, well, if I want mid-century modern, it's coming to my house. Right, it isn't going to a 23-year-old apartment in Chicago for law school.
Right.
FYI.
Well, the good thing is, I will tell you, do we love knockoffs for ourselves here? Of course not. We believe in, sticking to the true authentic mid-century modern pieces from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, that were not mass produced, were made with a lot of heart, a lot of love, and a lot of incredible craftsmanship. So are the IKEAs and the Walmarts and the Targets, they have a place? Of course they do. For a 23-year-old kid moving to Chicago, it's great for them. They can have the look without spending the money or investing in. These are kind of like investment pieces because, first of all,
what it's saying is this look, and really tell people what that time period is. But really, what it's saying is this look has gone nowhere. It is.
It's timeless. It's timeless.
Yeah.
It's classic. It's timeless. It's artistic. It's beautiful, and people who are true collectors, it will never go out of quote unquote style because they know who made them, and how rare they are. And like I said, my very offhanded joke is that, when we're all gone and buried, pieces will still be here because they're made with such incredible quality. Nowadays, unfortunately, pieces that we made are called 5-year furniture. You give them 5 years and they're gone, they go to the dumpster, right? Not these pieces. They're still incredibly well crafted and they're just amazing pieces. So they're artistic.
And that's how your business, and I love, because you have a saying about things that come into your store, but there's some truth to that. And the truth is that in your consignment business, they are well crafted and they're passed down to family members, or they end up in your LeShoppe Too business because someone has decided for whatever reason that they no longer maybe love the piece the way they did, or economically it's time to move it along and have some, and you always say it's time for someone else to love it.
Yes. So
which I love.
Thank you. So the tagline is that you once loved this piece, but now it's time to recycle the love factor. So we bring it over here and we love the piece. We find the right person and the right family for it to go to its new family. So the piece is continuing its journey towards a loving home, right? And so we love it. It keeps on giving it that wonderful, beautiful energy that the pieces should have. So when you walk into our store, I hope you feel that kind of love and energy from the person who made it, to the person who bought it, to bring in here, and our respect and love for the pieces, and our journey to find its new forever home.
I love that. Last week, you have 3 partners,
I
an
do.
amazing staff as well. Last
The
week I got
best.
you really, such a family.
It is a family, LeShoppe
It,
family, for sure it is.
it's incredible. Last week I got to sit down and talk with Leslie, one of your partners,
Yes.
and I'm also going to have you talk a little bit about this for anyone who didn't watch. And this partnership, which is so amazing because Leslie handles the estate sale. So
Correct.
kind of
Changing
pick it up.
hands is our, sure. So, and actually, if I may correct you, we do actually have 4 partners in our
Right.
other
I'm
business.
sorry.
So-
You're right. You're right.
So LeShoppe, think of LeShoppe as a big umbrella, okay? So the thing holding it up, okay, LeShoppe Consignment Store is our foundation, and so we are a consignment store. And then the offshoot of the umbrella is Changing Hands Estate Sale, which my partner Leslie Weisberg, she runs that and takes care of that part of the business. And then of course we have Julie Sundberg, my other partner, who helps run both businesses. Then our third business under the umbrella, and they all are a wonderful marriage together, is LeShoppe Auction House, which has Terry Stern from Detroit Fine Art Appraisers, and Leslie, myself, and Julie, who run that division of our business. So the great thing is, when you work with us, you have many, many different options on how you want to accomplish your goals, between selling a piece, selling a household, however it can do, it will fit into one of those 3 categories, or maybe all 3 categories, right? So maybe you have an estate sale, and that high-end piece of art didn't sell there, right? You only had a 3-day window to sell that piece. So now that piece comes to LeShoppe. We try selling for your retail, and maybe at that time, no one's buying that piece retail. Then the third option is take it over here to now our LeShoppe Auction House and sell it for auction. So we give your piece a very broad window of places to sell it and make you the most money that you can for your piece. So.
And that's what I love, because the truth is what, and Leslie was, explaining that sometimes your piece starts by the phone call of, I need to have an estate sale.
Right.
It isn't necessarily the first call to you that, I have pieces that I want to consign.
Right.
It's, I'm clearing out my house, or,
correct.
And she's able to say, in 1 or 2 days, I can maybe do better in the consignment situation, or, we can try it in the estate sale, but we can always take it over here to the consignment. And that's just so incredibly unique in that you're all under one roof. I have always, I will say I'm your publicist, and I've always said it's like a circus.
Our cheerleader.
Cheerleader. As the publicist, I've always said, like, okay, how do I put this under one circus tent and make people understand, that, it's all these different businesses, but functioning together.
Yes, exactly.
Because it is so unique.
Yes, it is. Because you know what? There are a lot of estate sale companies out there. I mean, there are a plethora of them. You can go online and pick, one of 100, okay? So how do we make ourselves unique? How I just said to you, nobody else out there has these other branches to sell your merchandise. And so if you've got a really beautiful piece of art, a piece of furniture that, an estate sale only command a certain amount of money, retail-wise, because on top of our beautiful store, 18,000 square foot showroom, we also have 4 online stores. So when your piece comes in, this piece behind me, I'm selling here in my store, right? But also it's been professionally photographed. It's now also on First Dibs, it's on eBay, it's on Etsy, it's on Cherish. So if it doesn't sell here, it'll sell to a much larger audience, an international audience, who will buy that piece and pay retail dollars for that rather than a sale at an estate sale, right? So
and I think that's really important, that people have an understanding that here you are in Kego Harbor, you know, around Michigan, people might understand what Kego Harbor is.
Right.
It's tiny little area, but that piece behind you, or the many pieces, and when I say 18,000 square feet, I mean 18, it's, you know, a huge amount of 3 levels, you know,
Yes,
basically,
yes,
of
yes, it is.
18,000 square feet.
Yes.
You have things being shipped globally.
Oh yeah. No.
And so what is interesting is that that piece is not going 20 miles away. It can be going
I will
many
make a bet
thousands.
right now. I'll make a bet right now. That piece there will sell to somebody in LA. LA people love that kind of stuff. So I'll tell
Yeah.
you right now, it will sell outside of Michigan, probably, excuse me, to somebody in LA. Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Tell Harry to get you some of that gorgeous
some
tea or
water.
coffee. Tell Harry that I'd like a coffee
I
too.
talk
Like,
too much. That's why I talk
yeah,
too
I
much.
know. It's
Right.
Michigan. It's Michigan allergies, is it?
Harry, come here for 1 second. Come here. Can we have
love
Harry come
Harry.
for 1 quick second? We love Harry.
We love Harry. So everybody should know. Here's
Okay,
in math.
this is Harry. Harry is my assistant, the office manager. He is LeShoppe. And I will tell you right now, if it hadn't been for him during COVID, I don't know if we'd still be up and running right now. Truly.
Well, what I will say about Harry, because we should talk about this now,
Yes.
is we'll talk behind his back as he roams around.
Or in front of him. Right, go ahead.
So one of the amazing things LeShoppe does
Yes.
is a couple things. We can talk about a lot of things, but 18,000 square feet is pretty hard to visually show.
Mhm.
And I like to think everybody's as visual as you and I.
Right. Not
But
so.
I do think that this is such a visual market. How do you show what you have if you can't get to your Kego Harbor store?
Right, right.
And Harry is one of the most responsible people for getting those vignettes on to your social media, and he works with part of your team there.
Yes.
Because God bless you, Deborah. That is not what your strength is.
So not my strength. No, not at all. No.
And we should all, I swear, as owners and managers, always know your strength, and
Yes.
you definitely know your strength. And
Yes.
Harry is amazing. And
Yes. I want to give one quick little shout out, please. Let you know. So truly, okay, Harry manages our whole team here, but I will tell you right now, Amanda Cone is actually one responsible for filming the vignettes, putting them up online, and also she has the most amazing, what I call radio sexy voice ever, and she just describes the pieces like no one's business. So please, a good shout out to Amanda, because she's doing we gave her this job a few months ago, and she has run with it. She's fantastic.
And I also want to give a shout out, because a lot of people don't realize that you, as a store with 18,000 square feet, you stage your store. Now, right. I find, so I'm so into home shows. And when you watch home shows, they love to take everybody's furniture out.
Yes.
It's like, buy your own furniture.
Right,
and they stage. And what's interesting is you stage your showroom. You stage. Of
course.
And you have an amazing someone who comes in.
Yes. So Linda Rubin. So what happened was we had another store originally, our first little baby, LeShoppe 1 in Walled Lake, and it was our attempt at this, and we realized within 6 months we need a bigger space, and so we went from 3,000 to 18,000. But in the meantime, a lovely client came in named Linda Rubin, and we delivered to her house one day a beautiful painting. When I walked in her house, I said, "Oh my gosh, when we get that new store, she is our stager." She can. So yes, our specialty here is mid-century modern, but as the times progress, new things come into vogue, and so we try to include those as well too in our inventory. So she's got the capability to be able to mix the antiques and contemporary and mid-century modern and make them all blend so wonderfully together. So she comes into our store twice a week and stages our store. And why is that important to us? Because I've been in many consignment stores. They're just like a hodgepodge. It's their furniture kind of thrown in there. You kind of work your way around there and figure out how's that piece going to look in my home. Whereas to us, it's important for you to be able to walk in and go, I can see that whole vignette working in my living room, my family room, my kitchen, my bedroom, whatever it may be. So, people say they're very impressed when they walk into our store about how beautifully staged we do our store. And it's important to us and to our
Well,
clients.
and I think it helps people realize what's in your store. I mean, it's like when you go into sometimes a clothing store and just the racks are everywhere, you can't find
Right.
anything.
No.
But also when you come into your store and you can see things clean and
Yes.
clearly, but then if you come back to your store 3 days later or 4 days later, you see something different. You see
Correct.
that lamp or you see that
Yes.
picture. And that's what's so, I mean, the lamp could have been there for a couple of weeks. You
Right.
wouldn't necessarily know it.
Exactly.
And it really speaks to you. And I know that I often, when I come in for a meeting, I'm like, okay, I'm not ready. I got to walk around first.
Gotta
I
do the walk.
I
Gotta do
gotta
the
take a
walkabout.
look. And
We call it do the walkabout.
yeah, I do,
Right.
because I'll see something, I always want it all, but I gotta work harder. But you just really do have to take it in. And I was telling Leslie this too, and it's true of the estate sale, and it's true of LeShoppe Too. When I walk around, I love a story, so I love to walk around your store and wonder. You see a big, huge purple mid-century modern sectional, and
Yes.
I think, like, where was that?
Of course.
Whose room was that in? Why
Yes.
purple? Like, it's just like that spark of color, and I think, what were they thinking? Why did they have that?
Of course.
And but
It gives it the
also,
piece. I'm sorry. It
yeah,
gives
I
a
was
piece
just gonna,
so much more history and much more energy and relatability. It's so much more intimate than say
yeah.
walking into a store where things are mass produced and it's just like, you have no connection to it, right?
It's true. And I think what people need to remember, that it's okay if you walk into your home and you have even sometimes these mass produced pieces, but then go into your store and say, I want that chair. And you
Right,
stick it
exactly.
in the room, and it's like, now this chair has this really fun story.
For
When someone,
sure.
yeah, I mean,
It's all
or the
about the
dining,
story.
yeah, it's really
Right.
fun.
Right.
So
So true.
talk to me now about, you and Harry are there together.
We
Uh,
are.
Tell me what's happening. It's been very hard for me to say post-COVID, because I worry so much about the numbers and everything, but I am so thrilled that my clients and businesses are opening and
Yes.
getting some normalcy. But tell me about what's happening in your business and how you're open and what you're
Sure.
doing.
So I will tell you one thing. We were very, very fortunate. We're all super grateful that during COVID, because of our online presence, we were probably busier than ever. We all say, we had probably our 2 busiest months online. People were home, right? And they've been staring at that couch now for the last 3 years, and now they're really looking at, they've been home now for say 2 months. They go, now it's time to buy a new couch or whatever. Or now we realize that this term, my home is my sanctuary, really has a very, very deeper meaning. Your home really is your sanctuary. So you want it to look nice and beautiful and inviting and welcoming. You're there all the time now, right? So that was fantastic during that time. And during the whole time, we're able to ship the items out, either via, parcel or freight. So that chain continued going. So now that we are, like you said, quote unquote, post-COVID, so we are now open for our new summer hours, which are Tuesday through Saturday, noon to 5, Sunday and Monday by appointment only. Of course, our online stores are open, 24 hours a day. And we are practicing, social distancing. There's a sign endorsing you got to wear a mask when you walk in. If you come in without a mask, we have a whole box of them for you at the front door. And we're doing business as usual, but in unusual times. right?
Mhm.
So the nice thing is our store is so big, there's not really a chance of really being congested with a lot of people. So, and people can also view our things online through our vignettes, through social media, through Instagram, through Facebook, and through our online stores as well too. So there's lots of opportunities for them to do that.
And are you planning a auction soon?
Right. So right now we are sending out emails to our clients and to anybody else out there too. We also have it on our some of our magazine ad, like we're in Jewish news and the scene, that we are now collecting for end of the summer / fall auction. That
Okay.
means this. So people who have furniture, art, lighting, whatever it may be, please contact us. Now on Wednesdays, our art appraiser, our partner, Terry Stern, is here giving free appraisals. She's going to bring the piece in, send us a picture, call us about it, and we can then let you know if it'll be appropriate for our auction, and then of course, what the reserve would be. And the nice thing with our kind of auction house is this: our pieces start at the reserve price. There's no playing games with the numbers. You say to me, Deborah, I want, 500 for this phone in my pocket. The price starts at $500 on the auction thing. So you're guaranteed in your pocket reserve, if not more. Okay.
Okay.
And so, yes, we are now collecting pieces for that. And we also offer remote consignment too, as well. Also, say you got a really big piece of art you don't want to actually bring to our store. We will arrange to have our photographer come to your house, photograph the piece there, and include it in our catalog. And then when it sells, we then come pick it up, give you your check, and we take care of the shipping for you. So, yes, the date has not been set exactly yet, but we're probably end of, probably September.
Have you seen an increase during this time of people, shopping online for furniture? I mean, you're
Big time.
seeing,
Big
yeah,
time. It's like, no, it was probably our two biggest months online. First of all, of course, you can only shop online, but also, like I
right.
said, people really realize how much their home means to them. So they're doing a lot of buying. And also now we're finding a lot of people are wanting to consign. Some people were, affected by the financial impact of this quarantine. And so now is a really good time that piece you've been kind of holding on to and kind of on the fence about what to do with it. Now is a great time for us to sell it for you, and turn that piece that really doesn't have that same connection to you
Yeah.
into money for you. So we find right now also too, it's a great time for consigning pieces as well because people are buying. They're definitely buying.
And I think that's what's, we started this conversation with that people consign for very different reasons.
Sure.
And, I'm seeing a lot of for sale signs in my neighborhood.
Yep.
And so we're seeing people move for different reasons.
Yes.
And I think estate sales are happening right now.
Big time.
I always laugh that we think of estate sales as a warm weather kind of
Oh
thing.
gosh,
but
no. No, they're all
estate
year
sales
round.
happen inside the house. So
Yes, they're all year round. You know what I'm
so
saying?
right, they
exactly.
are all year round.
Right, exactly. So for people to consign, it may not always be what I call like a financial necessity. It could be, listen, I'm moving to Florida. This stuff won't fit into my Florida condo, right?
Mhm.
So I'm taking what I can fit in there or what I need, and the rest I'd rather sell. Maybe my kids aren't into it or whatever. I don't want to really leave it to. So let
Right.
us sell it for you so you can move on, right?
I think that's important because the truth is, and I always want to say that I do love your saying, and I'll say it again, is that it's important when people come to you that you want to make sure that they're going to love the piece.
Yes.
And I think that you have a really good policy behind that.
Oh, for sure.
That when someone buys a piece, when they buy it, they have to love it,
Right.
just as the previous owner.
Exactly. I don't want a piece ending up in the wrong home, because I believe everything's got energy. And so that piece of furniture knows the right home. So we have a very rare and unusual policy. People love our policy, which is the 7-day policy. In our business of consignment, no one does this. So our policy is this. You buy the piece, right? We deliver it to you, take it home with you. You try it for 7 days. If for some reason it doesn't work in your home, we bring it back for a full refund, because I don't want that piece going to the wrong home and being unhappy and you being unhappy, right?
Right.
So,
I mean, can you imagine? I want people to realize that, like, you come down the stairs every day and you walk into your living room,
right.
and you keep staring at the sofa that you just bought, and you're like,
it's not working.
Not working. Like, it's not working now. What do I do?
Right.
And, you know, you actually can return it someplace.
Yes.
And maybe find the piece that you really did love.
Exactly.
And it's
happened so much in our, because, yes, I'm a very visual person, but I'm not that visual where, for me, like, I don't know how this piece here is going to look in my home until I see it hung on my wall with my pieces around it, right? Or how that chair's going to look in the corner. I want to see it around my other pieces. So the 7-day policy is really, we go, listen, you're kind of dating the piece for 7 days. You're not going to marry it until you know it's the right fit for you, right? So people love the that option.
They love the dating process.
Right, exactly, right. And it's a freedom to go, okay, I'm not married to it. I'm just going to date it for 7 days. If I love it, I'll put a ring on it. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But yeah, so it makes people feel more comfortable in purchasing that piece, knowing they have that option. That doesn't work out, please, we want it to be the right piece for you. So
I love that. I love that. I love your business. I love. I think I love it because I love the stories. I love the pieces that come in. I think it's just really fun to see that things can be repurposed.
Yes.
And somebody is no longer loving a piece and it can go somewhere to be loved again. Yes. I know that when my mom and dad moved out of their home, I took many pieces that are in my own dining room. Sure. And I have such fond memories.
Of course.
But, my sister is different. That wasn't her style, her taste. Right. But, I love, the glass bowls and the crystal bowls and certain things I take out and I remember from my childhood. Yes. And, certain things I've now passed down to my kids. And, so
it's a connection to history. It's connection to family and history. It's beautiful. And, another kind of tagline we have here too, which kind of connects what you're saying right now, is LeShoppe Too, where the past is present. Yes. We're bringing things from the past into the present to make them part of our story, right?
Yeah, and I do, and I love picking up things. I've bought things, and they're from you, but I think like, oh, they were in somebody else's home and loved, and now they're mine to love.
Yes,
and,
yes.
So it's really wonderful. I'm so happy that you're back open, that people can go back in. They can.
So great being open again. It really is.
They can be on LeShoppe2.com online. Look at Instagram, Facebook for all the wonderful vignettes. They change all the time.
All the time, yeah, they change all the time. And they go to our LeShoppe2.com. At the top is our icons to click on. We take you to all of our different online stores as well too. And I tell people too, if you are local and you see a piece you love, give us a call. We'll be happy to help you to arrange that as well too. For consigners, we offer coming to your house, picking up and bringing it to the store if you can't bring it here yourself. Right. We offer local delivery and of course, national and international deliveries as well too. So we really make it hands-free for you. So it makes it a lovely process.
And I think that is so important because like we talked about, people consign for very different reasons. Sometimes it's done. And sometimes there's a lot of emotional reasons to it.
For sure.
And so, LeShoppe Too, has many different functions, many different businesses under one roof, but they really make it, take the emotion and understand the emotion to help you.
Completely. Yeah. Like I said, and we feel honored that you chose us with these pieces to now become what I call the foster parent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our job is the foster mommy and daddy is to find these pieces their forever home. We're very honored you chose us to have that role in your life. So we really do respect and love and honor the pieces and find them their forever mommy and daddy.
I have a last question. Speaking of that, it struck me. Have you ever consigned a piece, had it live with someone, and then gotten it back again from?
Oh, sure. Many times, actually, many times. So they bought a piece, they loved it, and now they're moving, they're downsizing. And so they'll bring the piece back to us saying, this is a great job selling it to me. I know you can do a great job selling it to the next person. So, it happens quite often. We love that. Love that. It's great.
Oh, that's fun. And what's so interesting is because I have to say, because these are not mass produced pieces.
No.
They have 9 lives.
They do. Anything that people come to my store and they'll fall in love with the piece, not quite sure, kind of hemming and hawing. And I'm telling you, it happens so often in our business. Someone will come in the next day, that piece you were thinking about, they'll come and buy it. They'll call me, hey, I was here a week ago. Is that piece still there? I'm like, no, it's not, because I'm not, Gorman's or whatever. I can't go in the back warehouse and pull another one out.
Right.
It's gone. It's gone.
Right.
So,
I've been in your store and I have watched someone come in and say, oh, I was here. I don't see the piece. And I've watched you say, like, let me, you're thinking, you're like, I'm pretty sure we sold it. Let me do a quick walk around just in case it was moved. And you're like, no, I'm pretty darn sure it wasn't moved. It's gone.
No.
But
I try and ease the blow by saying to them, listen, you know what? Everything's got energy. It wasn't meant to be yours, but the next right piece will come up and I will find it for you. I promise you.
Yeah.
I'll get it for you.
That's right. You snooze, you lose. That's where that saying came from.
So true. Yeah, so true.
Oh, Deborah.
I'm sorry. One more thing. We also have unusual too in these days and time. We have a lovely layaway policy. So people can come in and they aren't quite ready to lay out all that money for that piece. No problem. Put down 20%. Pay it off slowly. When you don't pay it off, we deliver it to you. So it gives so many different options of how you can buy pieces in our store as well too. So
that makes great sense, and that way you don't lose the piece.
Right, exactly. Thank you.
That's it.
Well,
I love talking to you. You and I can go on and on. People, please, while you're home, shop online, look online. There's lots of things that will make you, I say, spruce up your house, make you a little happy. And definitely, if you're in the area, take a walk around 18,000 square feet of fun.
Yes, for sure. It was so lovely talking with you. Thank you for being our cheerleader, our publicist, and our friend, and really believing in us too. We believe in you as well.
That's always easy to do, but that's because I'm like a kid in the candy store in your place. It's really fun. I would redo my home often. I would have vignettes going on often if I were allowed.
Exactly.
All right, I will see you soon. Enjoy the day.
Thank you. You too. Take care, darling. Be well.
Bye. Bye-bye.